It's kind of raining out here right now. But I wanted to make a video, man. I woke up feeling like I had to make a video. I'm in a lot of pain, like my lower back. Messages came to me so I can completely understand what this means. And that's how I was like, let me make a video, you know. I just been feeling a lot of energies overall fluctuating within me. It brings a lot of confusion. It also makes me kind of want to just be like, man, I'm gonna do what makes me feel good, you know. And that's a very compromising thing to do, because a lot of the ways that brings pleasure could be associated with a form of attachment that actually depreciates who you are. And I use the word depreciate because it doesn't mean that you lack that value. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, whatever your peak was, it doesn't mean that you're no longer at that value. But it erodes, it succumbs over time. So it looks like the value is less of because it wasn't well maintenance or whatever you want to call it. And that's how I feel right now, you know. I feel that in my soul, and I feel like that in the ways that, or I could use it in the valuable things that I've actually acquired on this 3D realm as well, like my car. I'm forever grateful for my car, but my car, you know, its age is showing. Everything that I use, my camera, you know, everything, it still holds a value, but I need to meet up to where I am mentally now. And that's just physically, like, I feel like these transitions that I'm going through, physically, spiritually, or just mentally. You know, it starts mentally, but after that, it's like, it all combines. But that's besides the point. That's just personally talking about, like, my life. But I really wanted to touch on, like, exchanges. You know, the energy of what an exchange is in general. I wanted to explain my perspective, but like also just bring other aspects as well, like to kind of get an overview of what it is. Like I had my homie, he spoke on, I don't want to say being self-absorbed, but that's kind of what it came off as, self-absorbed, meaning that everything is surrounded around you. As a base, I could relate deeply to that, but it also gave off the energy of being kind of selfish. Why? And that's why I said self-absorbed. But like, I don't necessarily know what selfish is. I feel like selfish is not a negative thing, and that's what I mean. You know, it could be however you choose to use it within that energy. It's like an add-on, but it's a party going on with older people over there, and I just think it's so interesting. But it's not selfish to think about yourself first. It's then what are you doing after that, and why are you doing the certain things to get something only back for you, or because you're doing it out of a pure heart, you know? And a lot of people feel like if it's not anything to do with like material gains or something that you physically lose, and that means that, you know, that doesn't really matter for fair exchange. They just use communication, for example, like them saying, oh yeah, I'll check in with you, or yeah, we're gonna do this, but then never physically did anything in manifestation. But then that word of mouth, you know, they don't value that as the structure and the base. Like me, what I say, I like to keep my word on it, because I know when people know of me, if I said I did something, I showed up. If I couldn't, that's you know, I don't control everything in this world, you know, and that's just what it is. But I keep it very genuine to how I feel on the inner, and that stands for me beyond like what I could even ever express. You know, action is the biggest thing, but word is really the base of everything that you do. It's what people recognize when they first see like how they were gonna judge you or whatever. Could you keep your word? And that's a part of fair exchange. Like, that concept of just word of mouth and keeping that, to me, that proves more than when the action hit, because your intention is better than the action. And I mean that in the ways of saying, like, think about it like this. If you don't keep your word or whatever once in a while, but then like you expect that person, I mean, you have valid excuses, but then like you're just so open to be open to a situation, like how that would make me look at you is like someone that's not really about what they're talking about. And it doesn't even have to do anything with your character, because your word and your action didn't back up. Somebody could judge you in a way that's not even of you, or maybe it is of you. But the principle behind it is just saying, like, do you stand for what you say you stand for? You know, because if not, like, I just met a guy, he was like, the action would show, you know. It would show, regardless of if that's being genuine or not genuine, that infliction within yourself, everything has to be flowing. And flow does not mean necessarily perfect, it means aligned. Like, if something happened this way, you see why I had to play out this way. Like, for example, my back hurting is not necessarily the most comfortable situation, but Nad Pitt, the homie, he posted something and I saw like all the examples of when your body aches, what that mean. Like, my shoulders usually ache, and I was like, my shoulders only usually ache. Now I'm getting like a backache that, you know, could have been manifested just from my own insecurity, because I realized what it meant, and I was playing out on the 3D run because it has to be aligned. And now, to me, it just means a deeper thing, you know? And that's one of the reasons why I'm even influenced to come up on this right now. You know? So, we're going to see what we got and keep on moving. You see mosquitoes? I don't fuck with that. I don't play with mosquitoes.